So welcome everyone, and I'm told that today I'm the one to introduce the program. So today, introduction of the program is that it is the fourth of the 8 verses of Siksastakam of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We've already given a fairly extensive introduction to the great importance of Siksastakam revealed by Mahaprabhu in his most ecstatic time. Revealed means revealed the great importance of these verses. He wrote and he relished them in the highest stage of the epitome of his love of Krishna. So very important verses. We're continuing today, the 4th verse. And before we do so, we're going to begin by saying 4 verses of invocation, vandanam, invocation, some prayer, and jais to our divine masters, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakha Kshira Dev Goswami Maharaj, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, all bringing us Bhagavan, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, all bringing us Rupa Goswami, the whole parampara, headed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the author, one of the few verses he actually composed, Mahaprabhu composed for our guidance, these 8 verses, Siksastakam. So very important to give our honor and to express what we are sharing is simply what we understand from them, and we are indicating to come and hear from them as much as possible the substance of devotional life coming from the substantial devotee hearts of our divine pure masters. So let us say, and we can say here, all of us together, the 4 vandanam verses, if we say, mini vandanam containing everything. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sarvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Param Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangscha Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gora Tvije Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. And Mahaprabhu has revealed, shown from the scripture, how the Maha Mantra for Kali Yuga is, and you can join in if you know it, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. And how this Maha Mantra, as we are reminded just a short while ago, can take us from the very lowest position. There is no lowest that the greatest mantra cannot relieve us from, and it can take us to the very highest position, the topmost place in the upper world. So this Maha Mantra, it is very valuable. Already in the first 3 verses, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has explained the effect of chanting the Maha Mantra. He's explained the generosity, super generosity of Krishna to give his holy name with basically no special conditions for time, place, etc. for chanting it. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us how to chant the Maha Mantra with humility, tolerance, giving honor to others, not wanting honor for ourselves, and to chant it constantly. So with this background, now verse number 4 of the Siksastakam prayers is on the board, maybe, and we need to have the translation as given here. It's okay, the thing is the light is reflecting, so I can't see so much there. So we can chant the number 4 verse of Siksastakam slowly together. Na dhanaṁ na janam na sundarīṁ kavitāṁ va jagad-īśa kāmaye mama janmanīśvare bhavatād bhaktir ahaitukī tvayi. And the translation I'm giving, which is in the golden volcano of divine love, really the book which is going to help us understand so much about who is Mahaprabhu, what is he giving, and the whole of the second half of this book, second part, is dedicated to these 8 verses. So we're indicating this book and content, and we're reading the translation that is given here in maybe semi-poetic form. O Lord, I have no desires to accumulate wealth, followers, beautiful women, or salvation. My only prayer is for your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. I'll meditate on the poetic part of that. But here we are. O Lord, I have no desires to accumulate wealth, followers, beautiful women, or salvation. My only prayer is for your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. So there's a whole chapter here about this verse, and with all credits to Subhasini Devidasi, she from the Golden Volcano book and from Revealed Truth of Srila Govinda Maharaj has brought together some summary, which is your homework and for you to give. And it stretches just onto a 3rd page. Gurudev will say, not to waste paper, 3 lines on 1 page. He'll take note. So this is for your home reading and for your home keeping, and keep it safely in a folder, Siksastakam course folder, and so you can read it also in the future. But Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in the songbook, in the Kirtan guide, our Kirtan guide, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given a corresponding composition in Bengali to also help us understand. And then we will find, we'll find more things. One step at a time. So the corresponding Bengali, as we recited yesterday, little brighter. Prabhu tava padaduke, as we recited yesterday, the Bengali for the first verse or 2, but we want to really come to the translation because we want to communicate, and communicate that in English is our communication, except we have 4 translators today, and we appreciate your translating into French, into Russian, into Portuguese, and into Italian. So our translators translating from, but they're going to translate from English, not the Bengali, I expect. But Bengali for the first verse is Prabhu tava padu juge mora niverana nahi magi deha sukha vidya dhana jana. And then nahi magi svarga ara moksha nahi magi na kori pratana kona vibhutira lagi. And those who read Chaitanya Charitamrita every day, many of these words, they are familiar to you. So, O Lord, this is my humble submission at your lotus feet. So remember, this is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu giving us exemplary prayer. We need to know how to pray, what to pray for. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is giving that exemplary prayer in Bengali poetic form. So, O Lord, this is my humble submission at your lotus feet, that I do not ask from you sensual pleasure, learning, wealth, or followers. I do not beg for residence on the celestial planets, nor do I wish liberation from the mundane existence, nor do I pray for the attainment of any mystic powers. Here's an apple, or other things. But nija karma guna doshe je janma pai janme janme jena tava nama guna gai. Whatever birth I may obtain due to the results of my previous worldly activities, karma, my own karma, nija karma guna doshe, my things I've done in the gunas. So whatever birth I may take, I pray that I may sing the glories of your holy name, birth after birth. And then this alone, matra, this alone is my cherished hope. Asha, we get this word asha, desire. This alone is my desire. Matra asha, mama tomara charane, to your feet. Ahaitukī bhakti hride jage anukshane. So this alone is my cherished hope, my aspiration, my prayer at your lotus feet, that let causeless and uninterrupted devotion awaken within my heart and flow towards you. A river is flowing to the ocean. It doesn't flow anywhere and everywhere. It's flowing towards the ocean. So let all this awaken, pure, causeless devotion, ahaitukī bhakti hride jage anukshana, may it flow towards you. And now a verse which we can all relate to, I expect. That is, let me love your lotus feet, with a capital Y, Krishna's, let me love your lotus feet as much as I now love sense gratification. And we all have this kind of, oh, I like this in this world. But let me love your lotus feet as much as I love sense gratification, and transfer my affection from the objects of the senses to your lotus feet. This is the prayer. Let me love your lotus feet so much, and please transfer what I'm now giving my love and attention to in the material world, from the material objects, transfer that to your lotus feet. Vippare sampare taha takuk sambhave dine dine vriddhi hauk namera prabhave. In danger or success, good fortune or disaster, let me remain equipoised, and let my affection for you increase dine dine, day by day, by the influence of the holy name. And the last line, the last verse of Bhaktivinoda Thakur explaining this Siksastakam prayer: whether I live as bird or beast, in heaven or in hell, let the humble Bhaktivinoda always cherish devotion to you in his heart of hearts. So, pashu paki hoye taki svarga va niroye tava bhakti rahu bhakti vinoda hridoye. So this humble Bhaktivinoda Thakur is making this prayer, and this is the echo of the prayer that Mahaprabhu is making. And Mahaprabhu is directing us away from chanting the holy name for anything except for the satisfaction of Krishna. So Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, people come to him for different reasons. And so maybe in the beginning you're coming to the Lord and chanting his name to get rid of some suffering in this world. Oh, I read this, if I chant the holy name, all suffering of this world will disappear. So there may be some motivation in the beginning, and not bad. If you want to get rid of suffering, chant the holy name, it's a good idea. But then we find that that's not really the full value of the holy name. It's a side product that when we come to waken up our love of the Lord, when this starts to wake up inside of us, then automatically all the other things of the world will slip away of their own accord. Yesterday we quoted from Guru Maharaj saying about how all these negative things that are behind us, they will evaporate. Guru Maharaj's word of evaporation, which is very sweet. It's not that we have to do a separate prayashchitta, which is the word in Sanskrit for atonement. Oh, we've done wrong things in the past, I better go and atone for this by bathing, going to the holy places to bathe, to get rid of my sin, to do some fasting to get rid of my sin, to do this, do this. It's not that we have to think about all those things. That's not the focus of chanting the name. Maybe at the beginning, but remember Mahaprabhu, he's taking us to the goal. He's not giving us, you are not the body, karma, this. He's giving us now the very essence of what is ecstatic love of God. He is tasting ecstatic love of God. He is tasting these very verses. This is directly described there in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where everything is truth, everything is direct. And this is coming in the very last chapter of the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Mahaprabhu is relishing his own verses that he's given. So he's only seeing and showing us how we only are to see that the holy name is directly connected with Krishna, with love of Krishna, with service to Krishna, with attachment to Krishna, loving attachment to Krishna, and nothing else. We are not asking him for money, for car, for health, for all of the things which are generally within the prayers when people go to the temple, offer their incense and make some prayers. Give me this, give me that, save me from this, save me from that. But this is far in the past, on this journey where love of God is wakening up in the heart. All those other things will seem like nothing. Dhruva Maharaj wanted a kingdom. He went to do great sacrifices, but when Dhruva Maharaj had actual darshan of Krishna, darshan isn't just open and look and close the door and get on your bicycle and drive away. Darshan, Krishna appeared to him, and then he said, oh, I was looking for broken glass. Anything of this world, just like broken glass, all wealth, a kingdom, royalty, everything, name, fame, enjoyment is like broken glass, not just some glass. You don't want to touch broken glass. You get pain from broken glass. Get shards of glass in your feet when you're on walking bare feet in India, right? And people, broken glass. I was looking for broken glass, only things which are going to give pain and which are insignificant. Now I've got your darshan. Then, oh, you are the goal. You are everything. So waking up our love for Krishna, and everywhere, from Srila Sridhar Maharaj, from Srila Govinda Maharaj, from Srila Prabhupada, from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, this whole theme of beauty, love, affection, and not the theme of do this to get rid of this offense that you might have done, do this to get rid of that, do this to get money, to do this to get a house, do this to protect your wealth. Those who are trying to get wealth, that's one thing. Those who have wealth, they have other duties. If you follow the duties in the varnashram system and in the regular advice of the Veda, which is for material prosperity, etc., then once you have wealth, you have to do something to protect it. So always this material conception is within our minds, and it's tempting to make our prayers for material things. But Mahaprabhu's focus, our Guru's focus, is exactly in the line of don't worry about the material things. You come to Krishna and only give your one-pointed attention in the line of loving service to the Lord with this loving attachment to the Lord. So this verse is directly telling us that I do not want this, I don't want that, I don't want anything which is normally regarded as very desirable in the material world. I only want unmotivated attachment to your lotus feet, birth after birth. And the translation does say, and we need to address this because this comes up all the time, the translation was saying, "O Lord, I have no desires to accumulate wealth, followers, beautiful women, or salvation." And this comes up at least every year to Gurudev when devotees would come to Navadip, to India. Gurudev, he says, beautiful women. And Gurudev is saying, yes, because this was directed at that time to the men population. And so the men were reading, and so it's the opposite sex. It's the desire, the natural desire of nature for male, attracted by female bodily identification, and female attracted to male. And Gurudev has so many times explained this point because this is the age of the ladies, right? Where the ladies and equality. And so feeling very, they're always saying about women, women, women. But actually, the whole conception is this bodily conception of life. So don't get stuck on this idea of women. It means enjoyment of the material life, material male-female connection. And these are the very things which generally are regarded as the success of life. To have a lot of wealth, to have followers, yes, I'm an important person, so many people following me, to have a good family life, enjoyment in family life, and then salvation, to get free from birth and death, because however much money you've got, however much enjoyment, however many followers you have, then the day comes when the doctor says, sorry, your vehicle cannot be repaired any longer. You've got to get a new motor car, you've got to get a new body, your time is up, you're going to have to accept the fact you've got to change your vehicle. So even in the material world, for one who relies on a car, when the mechanic says you have a week before in England you have MOT, I don't know what it stands for, but it's MOT, it's some certificate. The car has to get a certificate it is healthy enough to be used on the road. But if once he's condemned, then okay, next week the MOT is up. So even in the material world, the intelligent person doesn't wait until the day he can't use the car. He figures out, okay, I need another car, so let's prepare for the next car. What car will I get? So here we are, we're in this material world, and we will get another vehicle, another body. The material body is going to come according to our the cultivation we make in our life, what we've done in our life, our karma, and our consciousness. All these blend together to prepare our next body. And everyone's heard of a little book called Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna just says very clearly, for one who's born, death is certain. Oh no, that's news. Don't tell anybody else. They'll be very troubled. And for one who's dead, one who has died, birth is certain. So we've got our guidance everywhere. But you see, this fourth of the very valuable things in this world is, okay, I've been wealthy, I've had lots of followers, I've enjoyed so much, but now I need to solve this problem, that all this karma, how did I get wealthy? That money's come from somebody else. How did I do this? Everything's come from somewhere and has to be repaid. And so hence, even in the past, the kings, they would do so many sacrifices to get clear from, to try to get clear from the karma that comes with money. You profit from something, but where that money came from that person, how did he get that money? Maybe he was a butcher, and you're getting the weight with that money. So anyhow, you might have had all these, you can say, the successful things of this world, but then comes this understanding, moksha. What is now going to be very valuable is to get free from that karma, to have to take another body, which may be one of 8,400,000 species of life here. And as Guru Maharaj points out, we don't have certainty what is going to come to take its demand on us when we leave our body. We don't have that certainty, but we have the certainty of the time in our hand now. So moksha, liberation, has very high value in some section of society, because now understanding all success we get apparent in the material world, but it's reactionary, and as we get more good things, then that's come from somewhere, and we're at the top of the wheel of samsara, then, oh dear, I heard we have to go down to repay all of this action and reaction. But when we are at the top of the wheel, instead of just leading our animal tendencies, animal life, that, oh, now we have to go down to repay our debt to nature, instead of that, human life is meant to learn to get out. We're at the top. We can learn. And now our purpose is to get out of this cycle of birth and death, the wheel, the cycle of birth and death. And so moksha is given very high regard. But moksha in general is to get relief. Again, it's getting relief from suffering. It's got some motivation. I want relief from suffering. Whoops, sorry, microphones. I want relief from suffering. So it's still got the I at the center, me. And just to get relief of suffering, we hear again and again, in this book, in the commentaries about this verse, this is not sufficient. It's just like a deep, deep sleep. Getting some rest, stopping everything. By stopping everything and leaving all other things to get moksha, to get liberation. Oh, I'll float in the sky. But positive life is possible, not just to withdraw from life. And Mahaprabhu and Krishna, everywhere, when we see, everywhere is indicating that there is the land of the positive life, and the land of just getting moksha, relief from the material world. It is far from that. It is the effulgence that's coming from that living world, that world which is Goloka Vrindavan, ultimately the topmost plane, the plane of love and beauty, sweetness and charm. So here we are. And how to go there? Only by seva, only by waking up our loving relation with the Lord, and with love comes activity. You don't just love something. When you love somebody, even in this world, you automatically do things to please them. Love of God is this theme. And this verse, here Mahaprabhu is giving us this whole conception that we're not chanting the name of the Lord, we're not doing our spiritual practices for any purpose except unmotivated, loving connection with the Lord. And well, there is a whole chapter in the Sri Sri Prapanajivanamritam, which we're not going to read the whole chapter, but it is the chapter number 4, which is Pratikulya Vivajanam, rejection of the unfavorable. And here in this chapter, so Prapanajivanamritam, I expect all of you have heard of the book, if not know it. It's Srila Guru Maharaj's very carefully prepared book about the glories of surrender. And surrender, we have to surrender to Krishna one day, otherwise we are going to be in samsara. Until we surrender to Krishna, we're going to be wrongly placed in the organic whole. And so, rejecting the unfavorable, Srila Guru Maharaj quotes this very verse from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the second verse of this. The first verse he's giving that the principle to reject everything opposed to the service of the Lord and his devotee, and to similarly abstain from everything opposed to an attitude of surrender, is known as pratikulya vivajanam, rejection of the unfavorable. And that's Guru Maharaj's own composition, introducing the chapter. And then the very next verse. Yes, then the very next verse is na dhanaṁ na janaṁ na sundarīṁ. This verse we just recited, the 4th verse of Sharanagati. Okay, I was just wondering if that clock was right. I suppose it is. And Guru Maharaj's introduction to the verse is the ideal. So this is Guru Maharaj's introduction to this verse we just read. Not to want any of these generally desirable material things, but instead only unmotivated, loving devotional service attachment to the Lord. So then Guru Maharaj introduces this verse by saying, the ideal in the resolve to reject the unfavorable. So here Mahaprabhu is giving us this in his progressive teachings of just 8 verses. So in this verse, here he's telling us, pointing out what is unfavorable. We need to leave aside all these ambitions for gold, name and fame, of the luxury of our family life, etc. And then even for the honorable position generally of moksha. So all of this is regarded as unfavorable, and take to the positive side, the devotional side. And it's interesting to read Prapanajivanamritam giving stress on Guru Maharaj's introduction, the aphorisms before most of the verses, not always his own verse. Okay, here's a sealed Prapanajivanamritam, very valuable. We should auction this.
Only, but we have lots of
We've got hecklers in the audience. We should auction this copy of the book. It is unique. Anyway, beautifully bound, beautifully made book, the Prapanajivanamritam. This is the hardbound cover. And at home, if you have this book, it is very good to get it professionally covered when you take it out. It's got a white, beautiful white gold embossed cover, and the white is cloth, a very fine cloth, but it will become black if you actually read it on a regular basis. So it is good if you purchase it. This very book is very good if you purchase it, to cover it with a professional bookstore where they cover things with a see-through plastic cover. and how to take the book out of the box if you want that as well. I mean, we're leaving the track. But it's important in one sense because we see these books which are red and they're black around this part of the book when they take it out. Hold it on each end, gently squash it and shake the book out and it comes out. I'm sharing practical things, yeah. Anyway, this wonderful book, okay. Saraswati has already opened the book for us, but if you pull it out like this, see, you think you shake it and pull it out, but if you pull it out like this, your fingers marks come here. So you just gently on each side, tap it and squeeze it rather, and the book comes out by itself. And then don't touch it. You can see how beautiful, gold all around, white, and this is where it becomes black naturally. And then inside, I mean, how beautiful, how beautifully prepared, and how much Guru Maharaj appreciated that this book came into English. And this is not the first time it came into English. Guru Maharaj wasn't very happy with the first edition because the devotees, with good heart, they made it, but not understanding that the aphorisms which we are mentioning, that sometimes it is very good to read this book stressing the aphorisms before each verse, because they're very important for how this book is presenting surrender. And so, I mean, that's a bit of a long story, but here we can take good note that Srila Guru Maharaj is giving the introduction to this verse, the aphorism. The ideal in the resolve to reject the unfavorable. And then na dhanaṁ, na janaṁ, na sundarīṁ, kavitāṁ va jagad-īśa. Jagad-īśa kāmaye. I do know the verse, but we trip up, don't we, when we're not paying attention ourselves. And then, if we look at the next verse of Prapana Jivanamritam and the aphorism, Guru Maharaj saying, a similar expression of the same ideal. And then he gives a verse, in this case, from Sri Kula Shekhar. And then the next verse, he's saying, everything, this is Guru Maharaj, introduction again, everything devoid of a relationship with Lord Hari should be rejected. So we don't want to do anything which is devoid of a relationship with the Lord, and putting ourselves at the center is doing that. So again, this, we're not to be motivated for our own desires, for wealth, for popularity, for male-female connection, for moksha, etc. And then Srila Guru Maharaj, quoting this case, or prayers by the demigods, this is from Srimad Bhagavatam. And then, okay, anyway, then, I better not go through the whole Prapana Jivanamritam, but there is a whole chapter dedicated to rejection of the unfavorable, and Guru Maharaj's foundation of this chapter is this very verse of Mahaprabhu, of expressing that we're not to have, we pray, I don't have any desire for all of these things. And moksha includes liberation for all my troubles. And we're all troubled in the world. Everyone's troubled. But it's not the reason why we come to chant. It's not, we are chanting, asking something. We are chanting only if any prayer is attached, that I may wake up my unmotivated, loving, devotional attachment to your lotus feet, wherever you put me in this world. Hare Krishna. And so there's plenty of homework to do, in the sense of that whole chapter is very valuable for us. And okay, I'm not going to get distracted in any other line. So this is the message of this verse. Any questions? Oh, I have some questions from yesterday, I was told. But Anyway, we've got our organizers here who will keep me on track, I hope, and ask any questions. And I'm not sure what questions came yesterday. There were some other questions. If there's something we need to answer today to catch up, I don't know.
I was wondering if anyone has a question about today's verse first.
Okay, well, I have the
Because-
question of I have the question of everybody. Like, so, okay, we're told that we have to not want anything else, and we're told we should be resolved to have this focus, this prayer. So, you know, the question always comes, okay, but how do I do it? So, I mean, I'd like to pass it around the room, but it may not work that way on the Zoom when they sit me in the teacher's chair, and we actually have a transcendental classroom of devotional service. I'm not sure what we called it yesterday. But how to do it, that is, again, coming to the similar answer to yesterday's question. Humility, tolerance, giving honor to others, not wanting honor for myself. Always chant the name of Krishna. Okay, I got it, I know it, but how to do it? And so we got, again, these guidelines, how to not allow these thoughts to come in my mind. Dear Lord, just this once, I'm just asking you to please solve this problem. I won't ask you anymore. Then I'll only... I mean, these things, we know that is our nature. And it is also, in one sense, it is healthy. We are taking the Lord's guardianship. But at the same time, at least we should feel guilty. Dear Lord, I know I shouldn't be asking you to solve this problem, but I would be grateful, you know. But these are all in our heart, and He is our guardian. And, you know, with affection, we just have to do our best. We are practicing all of these things. We are practitioners. Our gurus, they are the master. They are the masters. In other words, they know, they live that life, and they are transmitting, expressing that to us. And we are the students who are trying to live our life according to their directions. And this verse, and all these verses we're studying as the central verse of the 8 verses of Siksastakam, they're coming from the Lord Himself, the Lord being Radharani and Krishna, coming themselves, posing as devotees, to give us the perfect prayer, the perfect goal, from the lowest to the highest. Take the holy name, it will do these things for you. Everything is in the name. Take it in this way. Conduct your mind, conduct your prayer, conduct your chanting with this mood. So you see, verse, 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 we're getting our progressive guidance from the Lord Himself and from the Lord's topmost devotees, headed by Srimati Radharani, but coming through Rupa Goswami and our preceptorial line to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, to Srila Guru Maharaj, to Srila Gurudev, to Srila Prabhupada, in this way, Guru Maharaj, Prabhupada, Gurudev, whatever order we want to say for the next generation. But this is what we are connected with, and so they are giving us pure guidance, and now we just need to be sincere, which is the answer that came essentially for yesterday's question, that how do we be humble, tolerant, and everything? We need to sincerely try. How will we keep our mind focused in only waking up our love for Krishna and not sneaking in some special prayers along the way? We will keep trying, and we are trying. And actually, only our trying part is going to be what draws the grace from above. We know we can't be perfect. We know that if I make myself perfect by doing all of these things, if we think that, okay, now I'm perfect, give me the rights to enter through the gates. It doesn't work like that. We have to rely on the grace of those who are there. But they are seeing if we are sincere. Are they following this, or just, oh yeah, I know all that, but really we're not doing it? Then comes back to sincerity. We must sincerely try to follow their guidance, and then we may hope to draw their grace, that they can fill in all the gaps. They may be pleased with us. Okay, we're trying. Okay, now come with me, hold my hand, I'm going to take you, and now you're going to get some shelter in service, in this, in beautiful association where everyone is your master, as we heard this morning from Loving Search for the Lost Servant. And we do have a question here, and I'm very happy we got a question here with a living hand and a microphone
Maharaj,
and a camera, maybe. I don't know.
Very much appreciating the last discussion of how to do that. My question would have,
No, we can. I can repeat the question.
No, my question is like, okay, we can see the ideal here, and you said that the holy name will take someone from the lowest to the highest. If you happen to be in the lowest, how do you practice this in a way that's not artificial? That is my actual, like, we can be sincere, but what does it mean to be sincere when you have a heart full of desires like this, but you want to get to that stage, you know that's good, and how do you do that? Yeah.
Okay, so how do we practice where if someone is in the lowest position? So this is a theoretical question.
No,
if someone is in the lowest,
have many desires. I have many desires.
No, I know. But the question is, so how do we practice it when we're in the lowest position and we know that we are not pure, we do have these desires, we are not fully humble, tolerant, all these other things as well.
In a non-artificial way, that's my question.
Yeah, in a non-artificial way. And still it comes to sincerity. We must always look for our sincerity. Why did we come to Krishna consciousness? What is it that drew us? We know that there is that land of wonderful land of where everyone is a pure servitor. We know we're full of faults. We've been given the medicine. So from any position, we will immediately, for anyone, chant the Maha Mantra. When we are told that the medicine, the way to get relief from all suffering, for everyone, everywhere, is to be reinstated with our loving devotional mood with God, with Krishna, the original God of gods, as told throughout the scripture, embodiment of love, beauty, and charm. Then we have been told that from the beginning we need to chant his holy names. In Kali Yuga there is no other way, no other way, no other way than to chant the name of the Lord, chant the name of the Lord, chant the name of the Lord. And so we are full of fault, full of everything, but we will have faith that yes, I chant the name of Krishna, especially the Maha Mantra for Kali Yuga, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then when we learn that, then we start to do that from whatever position we are in. So it's not that we wait to be a saint to chant the names of the Lord. The process is that we will chant the name of the Lord, and we'll likely as not find out that we'll never be a saint. So it's a good job not to wait until you're a saint before you chant the name of the Lord. But it is our sincerity, our humility, our tolerance of the environment, which is going to come up also. The next verse is going to help us to understand about our environment, about the troubles we face. But it is many things combined. We get these many tips, and we must try to consciously adjust ourselves day by day. But remember, a baby doesn't become a teenager, doesn't become an adult, becomes a teenager by eating one big meal. Oh, today I'm a teenager. Yesterday I was a baby, now I'm a teenager. And the teenager, by eating one big meal, doesn't become a mature man. Sorry, teenagers. I know you think you're all very mature, but I was a teenager once. I knew much more than I do now. Hare Krishna. So yes, we are to practice, and yes, we can refer to many places, including Rupa Goswami saying, just take the holy name. It may not be tasteful now, but it is the medicine to cure you. So take the holy name. You will come to taste it nicely. Keep on going. But learn the 10 offenses and consciously try to avoid them. This is all tied in together. But essentially, have faith in the holy name, chant the holy name. Be sincere that we want Krishna's loving service, and everything else we just, with a guilty conscience, think, okay, yeah, little bit of relief of suffering, a little bit of money be useful now.
Maharaj, we have another question on this verse, and the answer might well be, we have to be sincere.
Well, it's the answer to a lot of things. Sincerity, sadhu sangha, chanting the name, seva, lots of things, they come around as, the very safe and nourishing way for us to proceed. Good association, always.
All of these things might be the answer, but
Just going to have a drink, please.
Please. Really, in this verse, Sriman Mahaprabhu is helping us pray for none of these things, right? And like you said, in Gita, we find a solution to this, where really this we apply an offering of yukta vairagya to the things of this world. We also don't try to sort of reject the world. We try to use everything in the service of the Lord, and not use anything for ourselves.
Yes, indeed.
But an aspiring devotee might not have so much faith in their ability to make that offering purely. So, utilize everything, but can one really do that in a pure way?
Well, again, actually, we just slipped in that part about sadhu sangha. If we can be with devotees and those who are ideally, as Rupa Goswami lists, the ideal association is those who are on the same path as me, the same ideal, the same faith, this goal. Generally, we can say Mahaprabhu's Gauriya Vaishnavism, the path of worshipping Lord Radha and Krishna in the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then specifically those who've got faith in our Guru Varga, our masters, those who are in the same path as me, the same goal. Number two, who is more experienced than ourselves, who has experience of others, their own experience of how to cross this obstacle when it happens, how to cross that obstacle when it happens. And there are so many varieties, unlimited varieties of things which can happen in somebody's material life, but we're considered about spiritual life, how to proceed. And the third quality to make good association is that they are favorably disposed towards me. I mean, somebody can be on our same line, can be very experienced, but we don't really have their favor. And so when we can get that association, then we will, and then have that association as much as possible, then we will be guided how to use anything in devotional service, yukta vairagya. So it won't be my decision how to use this so much. If we can engage our devotional life actually under the guidance of somebody who's in the same line, senior to me and favorable towards me, then we're going to get helpful advice along the way for all sorts of things, and how to do things in a practical manner, how to use something. And we need to be realistic. Some things for us we can't use in devotional service. We don't have that capacity, so we leave that to the side. But there are so many things we can use, and so we will stay under that guidance of the senior affectionate devotee and can consult with them, ask them. So everything isn't that we are all by ourselves trying to engage in service. How will I use this? Somebody gave me a Christmas present. Christmas is coming. I heard the jingle bells of Christmas on the phone just a short while ago. So Christmas must be coming soon. So someone gets a Christmas present. They open it. Then, well, how on earth am I going to use this for Krishna? You can keep thinking about it, and if you can't think of a way, even better is whatever comes to you as a Christmas present, you offer to Guru. Then, okay, he can use it. But, when we live in the temple, anything that devotees will bring, because devotees would come from around the world to Navadip, the headquarters of ISKCON, and the headquarters of Chaitanya Saraswati Math, and the headquarters of Chaitanya Math. I mean, really, the headquarters, it's where Mahaprabhu appeared. But devotees would come from around the world, and they would bring some gifts. For us, to bring gifts to the office. Oh, please have this. But those gifts we give to Gurudev. And very often he just gives them straight back. But not always. Nice big boxes of chocolate from Russia. Gurudev keeping them. And he's distributing them. But it depends on the gift. But this way, we can immediately be worry-free. I've got a gift. Okay, give it to Gurudev. And that applied to computers, by the way. And Gurudev wasn't, like, you can say, computer savvy in the beginning. Later he was. But what comes to Gurudev look at it and say, okay, this is for you, for your service, like this. You're in the office, in a hard drive. I'm trying to explain to Gurudev a hard drive. And then when he understands, then he actually, very smart. He picks up, like, the meaning, this, and very clear about lots of things about computers also, like keeping us clear. They are a tool, an instrument, like a pen, piece of paper and a pen. It's just more or less glorified piece of paper and pen. And okay, now they can do so many, the videos and all sorts of things. But he was very clear, it is an instrument, and we must be careful not to be his servant, but he will be used in service. And Gurudev said directly, oh, I see the computer. When first the computers came, he said, I see the computer. It is first taking the full attention of the user, and then it is giving some product. And that we found, because we didn't even know how to use this. And then we're shown a piece of A4 paper size. In America, it's letter. But anyway, a piece of A4 paper. The page is A4, and then you're shown, you move this up, and it goes up, A4, across, down. And so for about 3 months, I had an A4 sheet of paper and was doing that. And then I went in an office in Calcutta, and I saw someone just moving the mouse like this. And I thought, they're doing it wrong. That's not how you do it. Then I realized, oh, you can just do that, and it goes up. So many things, they're not in our DNA. Maybe the new generation it is. But Gurudev also about computers. He saw that they take your full energy, full attention, and then they will give you something. Because we had to learn from scratch. In German, for our German section. Yes?
Maharaj, we have 2 questions that came through with a similar theme at the same time.
Yes.
And then we have another question from Vigneshwari Didi regarding yesterday's verse.
Okay, so let's hear this one,
Yeah.
then we'll come to yesterday's. Yeah.
Mukunda Prabhu is saying, Dear Maharaj, is this prayer the essence of Krishna Prem, love of Krishna through seva to his devotees and to himself? Or is Krishna Prem and the desire to have Krishna Prem a separate subject? Should we desire for this Krishna Prem to love the Lord as he loves us?
Oh, Mukunda Prabhu, you have very active brain.
And just it's a different at the same time another anonymous question.
Another
came through.
active brain.
Another
Okay.
active brain is a very smart anonymous person.
Anonymous brain.
How can we cultivate a state of love where we serve simply for the joy of serving, regardless of what the universe provides in return?
How can we?
How can we cultivate a state of love where we serve simply for the joy of serving, regardless of what the universe provides in return, or Krishna, whatever is provided in return?
Okay, so first of all, yes, they are similar because it's all coming to this point of just simple, straightforward, devotional, loving service. This is the point. And Mukunda Prabhu, your question, I think I'd have to write it down and meditate a lot. But because I didn't actually catch the full part of it. But what I can say is this: in this morning's reading by Abhinavasundara Prabhu, the director of this arrangement here, and he's sitting at the control. It says director on the back of his chair, so I know it's him. And anyhow, Abhinavasundara was reading the Loving Search for the Lost Servant in the daily Parayan, the daily reading which takes place here. And there was an expression, and you were all there, those of you who reside in the temple, where something along the lines of so much brain, we think we have to understand everything with our brain. But there is so much more brain than we have. And what is our necessity there? Our contribution isn't our brain, it's our hands. We need hands. In other words, Guru Maharaj is saying, what is practical? We need to do what is practical. Make the garlands. Okay, that's practical, we make the garlands. So I'm not very good at analyzing too much things, and I probably need to read and reread your question just to get the right thing. But we should want Krishna Prema. We've got our eye on the goal. We're being given this all the time through the scripture and through the words, the direct words of our masters, when we hear them, when we see the videos, when we read the books. So we should want it. We know that's the goal. But actually our whole thing is unmotivated devotional service. It's not we're doing something expecting to get some payment. We're just doing something selflessly because that's what we should be doing. And then, even though we're not trying to get anything, the peculiarity is that something very subtle and sweet is coming back, and ultimately that is going to be paid in the coin that Mahaprabhu can give. And that is, he's going to pay in the coin of Krishna Prema. So it's coming from the Lord, everything is coming from up to down. But that when we hear about Krishna's pastimes, name, form, etc., associates, location, where he lives, everything, when we hear about that, which we should do, then we should remember about that and share that there's such a beautiful place there. And that also is keeping our head out of the dirt of thinking that things here are beautiful. Which, as we said, just don't do it, but take a knife, cut it across your skin, open it up, look in the mirror, might not be very happy. You want to sew it up again pretty soon. Everything here is quite shallowly beautiful rather than beauty entirely. So Krishna Prema, the joy of everything. And then the anonymous question again was?
How can we cultivate a state of love where we serve simply for the joy of serving,
Yes.
regardless of what the universe provides in return?
Well, don't take any regard of what the universe provides in return. I mean, we just do it for causeless service. We engage for causeless service. We've been in the world before where you only work if you get paid. We don't want that. We've come for... In fact, I was lucky to get it then. I didn't work to get paid. I just worked and got paid because it was something Anyway, another thing. But generally in the world, you work to get paid. But we are here, we work to not want to get paid. We just, no, please, no need to say thank you. No, don't give me anything in return. No, please, just give me some more opportunity to serve. This is the ideal. And we, again, like we hear about the name, form, qualities, etc. of Krishna, also we're hearing about the qualities of selfless devotional service. So the universe, as you say, tries to give you something as a reward, then no, we don't want the reward. If that reward comes, you give it to where it's meant to be utilized. So, I mean, so many things may come, but they're not to stay in our hand. They're to be utilized. Everything is to be utilized properly. So if the universe does give something, then okay, that's for service. But it's not me, it's not for me. And when things stop with me, then you've got a problem. That's what our whole problem of being in this world, where everything stops. Things stop with me, and then I get my percentage. And we have a devotee here who's been distributing books since 2004, every day, 5 days a week, 4 days a week. And since 1994, devotee, and we were talking a little bit before about distributing books. But I remember we distributed books also, and distributed books. And then after maybe, I don't know, 3 years or something, one sannyasi devotee said to me, when we're giving all our collection, all to the temple, and we just naturally. And he said, "You're foolish." I said, "Why am I foolish?" I mean, I always say, "I know I'm foolish." But he said, "You're foolish. You should keep some of the money you collect." And it grated with me so much. That's not why we're going out to collect. But he was keeping money from his collection, and like whatever, but he kept some money from his collection. But that just grated with me. So we want to get the association which is always going to encourage us to do the selfless thing and not think, yes, some part is for me. It's very dangerous. And unfortunately, that devotee who was a sannyasi also in the future had a lot of trouble. But it's just, if we don't do the right things, we put ourselves in trouble. So it's not a criticism of the sannyasi, it's an observation. We can learn from what we see around, and we must be careful. Maybe a sannyasi, but we must also have some tick mark from ourselves. Is it right or is it wrong, what I'm being given? And the thing is, we have checks and balances. We've got the scripture, we've got the sadhus, and we've got the guru. And they should all match. And if something is not quite matching, we should refer, and then, as one of our devotees says, course correction. Make a course correction. So we get some advice, but we must think it. And a question here from Krishna. Yes.
Yesterday was.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, the question is about yesterday's verse,
yeah.
which you all know. Trinadapi sunichina taroriva sahishnuna amanina manadena kitanya sarai harihi, which Gurudev would sometimes repeat, but repeat livingly, freshly, in one day, different times. I mean, really, so common, so we can at least say it once. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, how can I practice humility without suppressing my feeling or neglecting my own well-being? Because inside my heart also Krishna's living. So, how can I?
But you think that humility means that you will suppress your own being. No.
You repeat the question because I couldn't hear.
Okay. The question was, just tell me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
how can I adjust my humility so I don't suppress my own being, because Krishna is in my heart as well. I want Krishna to be happy in my heart. Well, actually, you're not suppressing your heart by being humble. And actually, Krishna will be joyful to see your humility. Did we answer the question? And one more question. Okay, say the question. I'll repeat it because I hear we're down to just the microphone in front of me. Yes?
How can I apply Mahaprabhu's instruction of Amanina without any pride and Manadena,
Giving honor
to everyone in challenging relationship where I feel ignored or misunderstood in my life?
Well, okay, so how can I apply the giving honor to others and not wanting honor for myself in a challenging situation in my own life where there's a misunderstanding? Well, sometimes we have to, well, first of all, every situation is different. So we must assess how to apply these teachings in a particular situation. Really, it is not one answer is going to fit every circumstance. But if there is a misunderstanding, then you can try to clarify the misunderstanding. But if you think that actually my clarification of a misunderstanding, they're not going to believe me or whatever it is, then just go with the flow, just be humble, be tolerant, give honor, and just think, okay, Krishna is giving me some abuse, even though I think it's not necessary in this case, but Krishna is allowing it. So he's testing me to see how am I going to deal with that. And we've been in situations like that. And I've been in situations where I know I can't argue my way out of it or something because I had no idea what the cause of it was. And we were discussing this a few days ago. And my situation was somebody else also had the name Mahananda. My name was Mahananda Das. And somebody else, an Indian devotee, had the name Mahananda Das. And I was meant to be somewhere, and he was somewhere else. And news got to one of our senior strong sannyasis that I was in this other place. Mahananda was in this other, and they're very angry at me, and like very angry. And I had no idea why. And I understood I wasn't about to be able to voice my opinion. So we must see the circumstance and sometimes just, as they say, bite the bullet and just take it. And then, maybe you'll never know why something happened. And only a few days later, then I found out, actually, he had misunderstood something and it was resolved. But the point is that to try to defend ourselves, elsewhere, Guru Maharaj says we should not raise one finger to defend ourselves. But in domestic situations, you have to be a little realistic. So it is good to have a good devotee friend you can consult your particular circumstance with. And that doesn't mean anybody, somebody you trust, someone, again, same line, senior, who's your well-wisher. So
this question actually relates to Vignesh's question to some extent. But
so you're going to ask the question. Okay, well, we've got more questions coming and I won't be punctual. Okay.
Jai. Srila Guru Maharaj said, wait and see. Srila Gurudev also wrote on his door for everyone, Sahasha Vidadita Na Kriyam. Suddenly not to do anything. Suddenly not to tell anything. Without realization, do not take action. And with realization, with humility and giving honor to others, your tolerance will give you a miracle result.
Yes, and not only Gurudev wrote on his door, he had us write on his door. We did that. Bengali and the English. And not only one door, he had basically wherever he was, he wanted to see that. Wait and see. But wait and see what is the descending wish of the Lord and proceed. And then through your humility, you will get a miracle result. I mean, that's not on the wall. But Gurudev said about that policy repeatedly. And so we must, yes, we must follow this. Wait and see. If something, but there is a condition to everything. This is when something negative is coming, some like disaster, some fighting between devotees, and this and that. It's not. This is not. Does not apply when something auspicious needs to be done. Then it should be done immediately. If there's something inauspicious, but it should be done, then you should wait as long as possible before doing it. You have to chop off the head of that person, okay? Leave it for a while. That's if you're a king. If you're not a king, then you have no duty to chop off a head of a person. But anyway, no. But sometimes there are some categories. So when there is something like fighting between people, and in like Gurudev's case, I think you're asking any example of this. There are so many examples, and devotees would, you could say, involve Gurudev in conflicts. And Gurudev would hear this, and this side very enthusiastic that they are wrong, this side very enthusiastic that they are wrong. Gurudev understands, hears both sides, and Gurudev really was very aloof. Somebody can shout as much as they like. Doesn't mean he's going to take their side. He will hear everything. And then maybe some action is needed, but he will wait, not immediately. Not immediately. Now you go take prasad, and then wait a little while, consider what is the will of the Lord. And this happened again and again, not just with fights, but with trying to get the temples running from outside very heavy situations. But Gurudev, following this policy, wait, see what is the descending will of the Lord and do that. And he directly saying, I got miracle result from this. And elsewhere, to make an instant reaction, as Rai Kishori says in the Sharanagati, knee-jerk. She says different, knee-jerk reaction, which I haven't heard that expression for a long time, but you know, if you cross your legs and tap your knee, the doctors do that for some reason when you're a child, to see if your nerves work. I'm not sure you need to do that. But ask me, can I wiggle my toes? Yes, okay. Anyway, I don't know why they do it, or they did it, I don't know if they do in 2026. But if you tap your knee when you cross, your knee automatically goes up. You have no say in the matter. So, in other words, that knee-jerk reaction to a situation, we should try to repress the jerk of the knee, hold it in, consider and proceed. So this is the policy. But it doesn't mean you never do anything, but we must do with a sober, with a cool mind. And in another context, Srila Guru Maharaj said, nothing good ever came from a display of anger, from anger. Nothing good ever came from anger. And we see it. We see it. And anger is exactly one of those things, the doorway to hell. We've got our doorways to hell. Lust, greed, anger, envy, etc. So the opposite of wait and see, make a sober understanding, and knee-jerk reaction, anger, or something. Okay, so as we are over time, our question is gone.
Oh,
Oh, come back. I was saying, as we are over time and we've given up punctuality.
Can be after tomorrow.
Well, I don't know.
Actually, tomorrow we have one day off,
Rest.
and then we're continuing on
Okay.
Thursday because we've got.
Okay,
But
then
if you
We
have
don't have much time left.
So I think implication is we're going to need a few minutes to answer it. So
Yes.
let's conclude here today, and we are going to have kirtan here because we are starting at 6:30, which means we haven't had kirtan before joining everyone at home. And when we started at 7, we had kirtan first. So we'll have kirtan here. But first of all, let us give our jais to exactly who we are trying to share, represent in what little way we can, and who we want you to give full attention to. Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rock Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And they are all giving us Srila Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. They're giving us Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur, all of the great acharyas in our line, Rupa Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as try to know Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada as much as possible through their teachings and by putting into practice their teachings, hearing them, feeling their heart, understanding them, and you will be safe and sound. No need to go looking anywhere else. They've got everything, and this is our hope, that everyone's attention can be really drawn to them. We are trying to share their teachings and give some enthusiasm and to answer some questions from our life with them, means with Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. And I was brought to Krishna consciousness by Srila Prabhupada through his books. And so we know that the books of each of them are very powerful for us to know their heart and to change our lives. So jai to all of our divine masters ki jai, Shri Rupanuga Guru Vaga ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, all the assembled devotees here and on the recorded version ki jai, and all the worldwide devotees wherever you are and how not assembled you are, how unassembled you are, then to all the devotees ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, and Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinda, all the acharyas coming in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that section of bringing to the world this conception of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari.